Hi again. Bipolar RS. Here again. Just popping by to have a few words. Hopefully everybody can hear me because I'm a bit quiet. So I'm going to talk a bit louder. um, I was just thinking about something I'd like to talk about, which is a bit sort of it bothers me. It crosses my mind sometimes, and it's something that I make a bit of a joke about, I suppose, like lots of things I make a joke about, and there's basically being um, sort of being in two minds, or I make the joke about being bi, but not in the way you think, as in bipolar. That's one of my little jokes, but it's not very funny, I know. But sometimes you do feel like that. You feel like you're two people, or you feel like you're not confused, because I don't like the word confused. I don't like being confused, but you sort of undecided a lot of the time on what you're doing. I suppose that's quite normal, really. But when you've got bipolar, you tend to think that that's part of the condition, and you just accept it, I suppose. But it's just a case of you know sometimes you do sort of doubt yourself, or sometimes you think that you would prefer to be somebody else, living some other life, but because you think somebody else is doing it better than you, or somebody knows what they're doing and where they're going, and you're just falling from one day to another and hoping for the best. But every day is a lesson, every day is a challenge, every day you get a bit closer, hopefully, to the end of the road, or the goal of being as much back to yourself as you possibly can be. I suppose getting older makes a difference as well. You're going to change as you get older, um, so that's part of the condition, possibly, that you don't take into account sometimes. That you're going to feel different every day, um, and sometimes it is hard. Sometimes it's hard to go out the door, and sometimes you have to push yourself out the door, and you have to accept that you are who you are, and there's people better than you and there's people worse than you, and that's always going to be the case. And you have to accept who you are and be happy with what you've got to offer, and how you can perhaps contribute, and not and sort of you know be of some kind of assistance along the way. But I mean, last time I was on, I was talking about you know times when I've been in employment and I haven't wanted to be treated differently, or in a special case, as a special case, but I've wanted that little bit extra um, time, or not sensitivity, but that sort of bit of compromise, or even compassion sometimes. And I think you I don't want to go around um, saying that if you've got bipolar, you're a special case and you need to be handled differently, and people can't talk to you, or as they would talk to somebody else. I mean, I don't sign up for that. I'm totally in um, acceptance of fitting in and being accepted and being, as I say, valued. And you know, I don't think people should be treated differently, whatever differences they have in their head or on their body. But I think people should be valued for an individual that they are, and they should be allowed to to work in an environment where they feel they're part of the team and they're contributing and they are valued, and I have felt valued in employment, and I'm very, very grateful for that. I'm very it's boosts your confidence, and it makes you think, well, actually makes me think of something else that happened once. I went to a support group for bipolar, and I was went there with my partner, and at the end of the evening, or when we were having a cup of tea, we were talking amongst ourselves, all the other people with bipolar, and I was actually asked why I was there, and I was like, well, why are you here? There's nothing wrong with you. And it was quite it was quite encouraging, because I thought I looked like I had bipolar. I thought I sounded like it, and I acted like it, but amongst other people who have the same thing, I didn't, and I found that so reassuring, and I was so glad that I actually attended that meeting, even though I was treated a bit like an imposter. All these things, all these little things that we do, there is a reason for everything, and there's we shouldn't. I know it's hard sometimes, and I know people are scared, but you know, you just got to believe that people are caring, and people do understand, and people will. And I've often talked to people about bipolar, and I've been a bit worried about saying I've got bipolar, and then they'll say to me, "Oh, well, my dad has it, or my cousin has it, or it is a situation, or my girlfriend had it." It does happen that it's part of people's lives, but they sometimes don't like to talk about it until you talk about it. So it's always worth trying to overcome the fears, and just I think the most important thing I've found from it is just that if you just be yourself, and you can't go far wrong with that. Just be yourself, and usually people respond to that quite well. Well, as far as I'm concerned, anyway. Um, so I didn't want to keep you too long, and I've actually got something I wanted to say at the very end of this um, video, and it's a little card. And it's got a little message on it, and I'm hoping that it's going to make me feel better just saying it, so maybe it'll make you feel better. And it says, "This isn't what you expected to happen, but trust that it is part of the plan." It's just one of the little messages. I think it's quite cute. I've got a little whole box full of inspirational messages, so I might put another one on my next video. And that's I was just going to leave it at that for today, and hopefully, you know, I can speak to you again, because I don't like to keep people too long, because I know everybody's busy. So